Hi, how's it going? This is Resident of Colin for YouTube. Um, Back with another Dark Shadows video for you guys and gals. I'm here to do my reaction and review to episode 52. Uh, Keep in mind that this is still the same night where they discovered, where they Victoria and Carolyn saw a body at the bottom of Widow's Hill. We all know who it is. Here we go. Turn this down. Sorry. So yeah, Victoria says she originally came calling find the mystery of her past, and there's Carolyn in a nightgown, proving, hey, it's still dark. No one's. They have her and Victoria have not went to bed yet, and really, I mean, I can't say that's shocking when you think about it. I mean, they did. They feel they saw a body. I like how they're talking about ghosts, or Vicky's talking about ghosts. So Vicky says she's been here a short while. So Carolyn says it was always strange when see people drive by and stare at the haunted house. So that's another weird thing too about these early episodes. The only what mention of a witch you get is people mention uh, Carolyn's mother, Elizabeth, as a witch and a witch's daughter. That's something I've always found out too. So Vicky's telling her what Burke said to her. So no matter how I'm staying here, find out what I came for. Carolyn asked her, how could she stand it? Yeah, this is written by Francis Swan. John Sedgwick's your director. So Carolyn says no matter what anyone says, what we saw was the body of a dead man. So Carolyn is convinced no matter what. I think Vicky is too. You can see by the look on her face. Uh, great acting uh, by both Alexander and Nancy, obviously. And there's the opening. There's the opening, my friends. Yeah, we're in Vicky's room. We're still in the great house. And now here's Vicky, saying Matthew walked up and down. It could have been, yeah, Carolyn makes a good point. It could have been there and washed back away. I like this too because the reason Vicky is sort of like suspect of it because she knows nothing about tides. So that's what Carolyn's saying. The tide brought it in. It could have washed it out. It's the tide and the undertow. She says if it was a dead man, so she's like, you don't want to think it was Vicky. She was like, I said, don't. I mean, would you really? Would you really want to think you saw it, didn't you? Yeah, Malloy. I like how Vicky says I only know one person who's missing from Collinsford. The person she's talking about is Bill Malloy. And Vicky said, well, maybe it could have been. I like how Karen's like, no, it couldn't have. She's in denial. It could have been Bill Malloy. 24 hours, it swears Bill Malloy. I like Vicky's point here. We hardly saw the body. Barely, we could barely recognize it. Yeah, they saw the back of the body too. I mean, that's one thing to remember too when you're looking back at episode 50. So Carolyn about ghosts. So Vicky's saying there's no such thing as ghost, even though she saw a ghost technically, but she Carolyn's pretty sure that could have heard something. And here we're at the Evans cottage, and Maggie's like, "Pop, did you hear me?" So it is late. It's very, very late. Maggie's trying to convince her father to go to bed. He, and Sam's like, "I've got too much on my mind." So, so Sam says he's worried about Bill Malloy. Mm. And Sam says these aren't never sort normal times. There are forces at Collinsport, and Collinwood that are loose. And Maggie's like, "What forces?" She and Sam said evil. I like with Sam's the pollution lies in the souls of men in the air now. I wonder. One thing I always wondered about this episode is is Sam getting the feeling that Bill may be dead. I mean, you could make the case it's just the writers having a lot of fun with it, especially Francis Swan having a lot of fun with the character. I mean, and maybe that's just the case. You could also make the case that they're just trying to keep Sam a suspect. Yeah, I mean, come on. Look, we all know it's Matthew Morgan. I'm not here to look. I'm not. If you're wanting spoiler-free stuff, you've come to the wrong channel. So Sam asked about his letter. Is it safe? And Maggie said it's safe. It's in the safest place in the world. The hotel safe. So Sam says don't open unless something happens to you. And Maggie said, "What do you think's gonna happen?" And he's like, "I don't know. Just like I don't know what's happened to Bill Malloy. Ominous." And now we're back. They're gonna cut back to Collinwood. I think that again. I like what they do with Sam here because they're yeah, Sam's concerned about Bill Malloy. You also at the same time have Victoria Winters saying it could be Bill Malloy, um, which it very well could be. You know that body they did see could be Bill Malloy. Now Sam does not know that there was that Carolyn and Vicky may have saw a body. Um, Sam just has a bad feeling. You know, he's at least worried about Bill Malloy. Again, great job with the character, and I do like the fact that they're doing that because even though, like as a fan, I know who they had killed Bill Malloy off. It's nice to see, you know, when you go back and watch Dark Shadows, how they still keep us intrigued all these years later by the pictures they were painting with these characters. Yeah, Sam's concerned, but you could also look at it from a suspect standpoint of view that he's, you know, why would you worry about Bill Malloy? Do you know he's dead? You're right. So Carolyn heard noise, and Vicky says it was a shudder, and there's a thud. So it came from the drum. She said, she said, it sounded like it came from the drawing room. She's like, I'm going to catch a live little ghost. So I like how Vicky walks into David's room sound asleep. Yeah. So if it wasn't David, who was it? Vicky, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not going to. Let's see. Why can't Carolyn? Carolyn's scared. Carolyn, I think we're gonna think we're hearing things. Vicky, never heard things. Carolyn's convinced about that body, no matter what. I was Sarah Trust. Uh, fun. Sure, birthday present. If they ever had a birthday, I don't know what they. I like Vicky's point when you haven't had something that becomes important. And now we're back at the Evans cottage. Really good cuts here, back and forth. He tells Sam tells his daughter, "You're the one who dropped. Go back to bed." And he's drinking. He's drinking. uh, Maggie says, "Don't have to worry about Ben Willie. Probably left town for a few days. He'll be back." And Sam says, "Burke's a harsh man. Burke's not one to forgive and forget." That's what Sam Evans says. Sam said Maggie reminds Sam what he said, that he saw death staring him in the face. And he says, "I'm so confused. I don't know what I do one day to the next." It's all that liquor. Yeah. Love how they're doing the music. Sam Evans is finding somebody. And the phone's ringing. Vicky and Carolyn are laying. Vicky's bad. Who's gonna answer the phone? Carol. Vicky goes downstairs, and the shutters are clattering together. Eerie music is playing. Great job. And I love how John Sedgwick is shooting Carolyn from the back. He's closing the window, and she's closing windows. And now she's like, "I'm running. I'm out of here. I'm going out of this." Or Vicky, wait for me. Collins. He says Collins, and Vicky says, "Who is it?" And hands up the phone, and Vicky says, "Hello." Who was it? She's like, "I don't know." Vicky has a robe on, and Carolyn has a robe on over their nightgowns. And now they hear sounds come from the drawing room. Oh, they hear it again. Thud. Vicky's gonna be the brave one. I'm gonna go find out what it is. Just kick in the door. She's not gonna kick in the door. She's gonna open it. She opens it pretty forcefully. She's like, "Oh, who's in here?" And the closed the drape, the windows open, and the drapes play. Really smart, 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 smart. And the Collins book is knocked over, the family history book. thud. That's what they heard. Vicky's must have fallen off the table. Must have been the wind, basically. But she said, no, now Vicky's saying no, she couldn't have gotten all the way around. And Carolyn's looking up by herself. Now, do you believe in ghosts? She's like, nah. A cat out of the window. Well, I've never seen a cat. You just come, we come up the door. So they're leaving the drawing room. And there's the book of Josette. The book's gonna open by itself. Ah, I remembered correctly. To Josette. Josette, and I like great effects here. Josette Collins, born 1810, died 1834. That changes, by the way. And now we're back at the Evans cottage. She's like, Pop, what is it? What's wrong? I thought I told you to go back to bed. So she's probing him. So Roger, he admits that Roger's the one that wants him to change his mind about doing a commercial on Burke's portrait. Sorry about that. So Sam makes the cover story that he doesn't want any, according to him, Roger doesn't want anything keeping Berg and Collins port, and that would include a portrait. That's a nice cover story too. That's smooth. That was before. She's like, I used to trust each other fine. Before things were different then. What changed? And Maggie says, "What changed?" No, just the Burke. Yet he was here to ask questions. Maggie's probe. Did he get answers? She's like, Pop, you got to tell me. No, he doesn't got to tell you. So Carolyn's like, only if that telephone hadn't rung. She's like, I don't know. They just said Mr. Collins. She's like, did you recognize his voice? No. Muffled like a whisper. He just said Collins. Victoria, I guess so. That's all he said too. Collins? Do you think it can possibly be more? But Vicky says, I don't think I would have known his voice. He would have asked for more. I wouldn't have found out. Yeah, I agree with Carolyn. Bill wouldn't have hung up. Is your music in the background? Dead silence. It's just a complete silence. Could have been Bill Malloy. He usually shouts a lot. Vicky's like, I know. And Vicky's like, he certainly was doing that last night. So Carolyn thinks that Bill has always had a crush on her mother. I agree with her. So Carolyn says not like anything him to do anything to hurt her or make her worried. She's talking about Bill Malloy. And then Vicky says Burke was here earlier because you came to see your uncle. He says, no, yeah, what other things on his mind? And she says, I think he thinks, Vicky says, I think he's anxious to find about Bill Malloy. She talks about Burke. And then we're back at the Evans cottage. And they're talking about Bill Malloy. This whole, again, it's a great job by DS mentioning a character that is dead. He said, I wanted to tell 1,000 times, but I can't. You did write it down. He's like, yes. He said that letter you gave me. She's like, I'm going to read it. And Sam's like, no, no, you don't do that. I forbid it. You're addressing me, but it doesn't matter. That's my personal property. I like Maggie. If it's gonna get you out of trouble, you're in. She's like, I told you it was unsafe at the hotel. And she's like, you get it tomorrow. He's like, you get it tomorrow morning. Really, really great chemistry between David Ford and Catherine Lee Scott. Again, I love how Maggie is, hounding him for information. She's like, Maggie, swear you won't do that. She's like, Pop, you're hurting me. She's like, swear to me on your mother's name. She's like, I won't do that, I swear. I don't have to. I never liked you, my life, Pop. I never broke a promise to you either. And Sam's realizing that she's telling the truth. And there's the arms violin music of David Ford's Hold to the Head. He sit down, hold to the mouth, and he's like, great, great job. And that's the end of the episode. That was quick. That was quick. Uh, they do a really great job referencing Bill Malloy. Again, here's a character who's gone. His character passed. He died. Um, you get some cool ghost effects in this episode, and again, just great scare effects too. Really great stuff with the wind, the open window, the thud sounds, you know, the house, scaring Carolyn. Vicky's all the brave one. I'll open the door. She doesn't care. Um, Vicky's ready to kick indoors here in this episode. A really, really fun episode. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. I just think it's a really great job for them to continue to play cat and mouse with the whole, you know, though a fish, if you're just watching Dark Shadows for the first time, you don't know that Bill Malloy's dead or who killed him. It's a great job the way the writers play cat and mouse of who the killer is. I didn't like them adding Burke as a killer because it never made sense. I'm just dismissing that. Or they made him a suspect in a weird way. But your two primaries are Roger, three. Sorry, Roger, uh, Sam, and Matthew Morgan. And Matthew's going to be your killer. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode 52 review. Have a good night. Bye.